Hey Reddit, I'm Ethan, 32, and I never thought I'd be sitting here writing this. But after what went down, I need to get this off my chest. You know how people say betrayal doesn't happen overnight? That it's a slow burn, little red flags stacking up until one day the whole damn thing collapses? Yeah, that's what happened to me. I was with Sophia for 4 years. We met through mutual friends, clicked instantly, and before I knew it, we were living together in a cozy 2-bedroom apartment downtown. She was sweet, ambitious, and had this way of making everything feel effortless. At least, that's what I thought. Turns out, I was just another idiot ignoring the obvious signs. It started small. The late nights at work. The sudden interest in dressing up, wearing perfume on days she claimed she was just running errands. The phone that never left her hand, always flipped face down. I told myself I was overthinking it, that I was being insecure. But deep down, something fell off. Then, one night, my gut feeling got confirmation. I was sitting on the couch, half watching some random Netflix show while Sophia was in the shower. Her phone, which was usually glued to her hand, was charging on the table. A message popped up. Zach, can't wait to see you again. Last night was incredible. My stomach dropped. I stared at the screen, my mind racing. Was this some misunderstanding? A joke? But then another message came through. Zach, wish I could wake up next to you instead. I grabbed the phone. Hand shaking, I unlocked it. We knew each other's passcodes. She had nothing to hide, right? Except apparently she did. Hundreds of messages, flirty texts, inside jokes, plans to meet up, and worse, pictures. I sat there, numb, scrolling through undeniable proof that the woman I loved had been cheating on me for months. And not just with anyone. With Zach, a guy she had told me was just a co-worker. I should have confronted her. Should have stormed into the bathroom and demanded answers. But I didn't. Instead, I did something much worse. I put her phone back exactly where it was and acted like I hadn't seen a thing. Because in that moment, I decided I wasn't going to break up with Sophia. I was going to destroy her. For the next 2 months, I played the part of the clueless boyfriend perfectly. I still kissed her goodbye in the mornings. Still brought her coffee when she worked late. Still laughed at her jokes, held her hand, and told her I loved her, while carefully, methodically planning my exit. Step 1. Move my money. We had a joint savings account. Nothing crazy, just money we were setting aside for a future home, which now made me laugh bitterly every time I thought about it. Over the course of a few weeks, I slowly drained my half, moving it into a separate account she had no access to. Step 2. Find a new place. I started apartment hunting in secret. Told her I was staying late at work, but really I was meeting landlords, signing paperwork, setting up a whole new life she knew nothing about. Step 3. Pack without her noticing. This part was tricky. If I suddenly packed up all my stuff, she'd notice. So I started slow. Took a book here, a few shirts there, left some things at the office. Every time she went out, I moved a little more. By the time I was done, half my belongings were already in my new apartment, and she hadn't even noticed. Then came the final step, the perfect exit. It was a Friday morning, and Sophia was running late for work. She kissed me absent-mindedly, grabbing her bag and muttering about an important meeting, which I now knew probably meant meeting up with Zach. The moment she left, I sprang into action. The moving company I had secretly hired arrived within 30 minutes. Within 2 hours, every single thing I owned was packed up and gone. By noon, the apartment was practically empty. And for the finishing touch, I left a single note on the kitchen counter. Sophia, I know. I've known for months. Hope he was worth it. Ethan. Then, without a single word, I walked out the door and never looked back. I turned my phone off for the next 12 hours. When I finally turned it back on, my inbox exploded. 27 missed calls. Dozens of texts. Sophia had gone ballistic. Sophia, Ethan, what the hell? Where are you? Sophia, I don't understand. Please talk to me. Sophia, how long have you known? Sophia, Adam, please. I'm so sorry. Let's talk. Sophia, you can't just leave me like this. Oh, Sophia, I absolutely could. That night, I got a text from our mutual friend, Ryan. Ryan, dude. Sophia showed up at my place crying. What the hell happened? I replied with a single message. Me ask her. The next morning, he called. Man, I have never seen someone so wrecked, Ryan said. She's freaking out. Says she had no idea you knew. Good, I said simply. Ryan hesitated. She wants to see you. Talk things out. I let out a short laugh. Not happening. Yeah, figured. He paused. So what now? Now, I said, stretching out on my new couch in my new apartment. Now I move on. But here's the thing, Reddit. This wasn't the end. Because karma had one last trick up its sleeve. And trust me, what happened next? Sophia never saw it coming. I expected Sophia to go through the typical post-breakup stages, denial, anger, bargaining, all of that. What I didn't expect was just how far she would spiral. After leaving her with nothing but a note, I thought I'd be done with her. That I'd get to enjoy my new life in peace, knowing I'd taken my time, planned my exit perfectly, and left her to deal with the mess she created. But Sophia? She wasn't the type to let things go. The first few days after I left, my phone was an absolute war zone. Blocked numbers, new social media accounts, mutual friends reaching out, trying to get my side of the story. I ignored everything. I wanted nothing to do with her. Then one day, James, another friend of mine, called. You are not going to believe this, he said, practically laughing into the phone. Try me. Sophia quit her job. I blinked. Wait, what? James snickered. Yeah, man. Apparently, she just stopped showing up. She had some meltdown at the office, started crying at her desk, and when her boss tried to talk to her, she just stormed out. Didn't even put in a notice. Just walked out and never came back. I shook my head, rubbing my temples. Jesus. And it gets better, James continued. She also got into a screaming match with Zach in the parking lot of her job. Full-blown soap opera moment. I sat up straighter. Wait, so they're fighting now? Oh yeah, word on the street is that Zach told her he never wanted anything serious. Said she was fun, but now she was too much drama. I let out a short laugh. So, let me get this straight. She threw away our relationship. Lied. Cheated. Snuck around behind my back. And for what? A guy who saw her as nothing more than a casual hookup? It was almost too perfect. A week later, I got another update. Ryan texted me. Ryan, Sophia's moving out of the apartment. I raised an eyebrow. Me. She found a new place already? Ryan, no. She can't afford the rent alone. She's moving back in with her mom. I actually laughed out loud. Sophia used to brag about how independent she was. She always acted superior, looking down on anyone who still lived at home. And now she was the one packing her bags and crawling back to her childhood bedroom. Oh, how the tables had turned. But Sophia wasn't done yet. Because when someone like her loses control of their life, they don't take accountability. They don't reflect on their actions. They look for someone to blame. And unfortunately for me, I was the only person left. A few days later, James called again. Bro, he said, trying and failing to hold in his laughter. You might want to check Facebook. I frowned, opening the app. And there it was. A massive post from Sophia, airing out her version of the story. It started off normal enough. Sometimes people change and relationships don't work out. It's sad, but it happens. Then she really got into it. I thought I was in a loving, supportive relationship, but some people are just cold and manipulative. Some people pretend to be the perfect boyfriend while secretly planning to destroy you. Some people are cowards who would rather walk away than have a real conversation. Some people don't even have the decency to face you before leaving. They just take everything and disappear like the heartless, soulless men they are. I had to stop reading. She was seriously trying to make me look like the bad guy. She cheated on me. She lied to my face. And now, just because I had the nerve to leave on my terms, I was suddenly the villain? It was pathetic. And honestly, I almost felt bad for her. Almost. James, however, was having the time of his life. Dude, the comments, he wheezed. You have to read the comments. So I did. And what I found was glorious. Because Sophia must have forgotten that half the people in her circle knew what really happened. And they were not buying her sob story. Comment number 1. Didn't you cheat on him? Pretty sure that's what I heard. Comment number 2. Wait, is this about Ethan? Didn't you bring some guy over when he was out of town? LOL. Comment number 3. Why do you sound mad that he left? Weren't you the one sleeping with someone else? Sophia must have lost it because within an hour, the entire post was deleted. I had a feeling she thought people would rally around her, that she could paint herself as the poor, abandoned girlfriend and get sympathy. Instead, she got dragged, and that was better than any revenge I could have ever planned. After that, she finally stopped trying to contact me. No more texts, no more calls, no more fake social media accounts trying to follow me. She just disappeared. At first, I kept waiting for another meltdown, another public stunt, another way for her to try and make herself the victim. But it never came. And slowly, my life returned to normal. I went back to focusing on myself. I went out more, saw old friends, picked up new hobbies. I finally felt like myself again. Then, about 3 months later, I got one final message. A random number. Sophia, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I stared at it for a long time. Maybe she really was sorry. Maybe she really had learned something. Maybe for the first time since this entire mess started, she finally realized that she was the one who ruined everything. Or maybe she just wanted to feel better about herself. Either way, it wasn't my problem anymore. So I did the only thing left to do. I deleted the message, blocked the number, and moved on with my life. But deep down, I knew one thing. Sophia would never really move on. Because no matter what she did, no matter who she ended up with, she would always remember me as the guy who walked away. Not with tears, not with anger, but with silence. And in the end, that was the real punishment. I thought Sophia was finally done. After her embarrassing meltdown online, after losing her job, her apartment, and even Zach, I figured she'd finally gotten the message. I had walked away, wiped my hands clean, and moved on with my life. But Sophia, she wasn't the type to let go that easily. Because even though I'd cut her off completely, even though she had already lost so much, there was still one thing she couldn't handle. The fact that I was the one who won. At first, it was subtle. I started noticing fake profiles trying to follow me again. Random accounts with 0 posts, weird usernames, and no profile pictures. I ignored them, but then my friends started getting them too. James sent me a screenshot. James, bro, is this her? It was a DM request from some Emily_1996 account. Emily_1996. Hey, do you still talk to Ethan? I heard he's dating someone new. Just curious. No big deal. I shook my head. She's still watching. I muttered, half to myself. James laughed. Dude, she's obsessed. And honestly, that was kind of sad. The next time I actually heard from her, it wasn't through a text, a call, or even another meltdown post. It was in person. And trust me, she did not expect me to be where I was that night. It had been about 4 months since I left her. My life had never been better. New apartment, new job opportunities, new social circle. I was free. One of my coworkers, Mia, had invited me to a party at this rooftop bar downtown. It wasn't a date or anything, but I could tell she was interested. She was smart, confident, and most importantly, nothing like Sophia. The night was going great. Drinks were flowing, music was playing, and I was actually enjoying myself without a single thought about my past. Until Mia's eyes suddenly flicked to something over my shoulder, and her expression changed. Is that your ex? My stomach dropped. I turned around, and sure enough, standing near the entrance, holding a half-empty drink and staring directly at me, was Sophia. The moment our eyes met, her entire face changed. Shock, then anger, then something I couldn't quite place. She wasn't alone, either. She was with 2 of her friends, but they were looking anywhere but at her like they already knew this was about to get messy. Mia leaned in. Do you want to leave? I shook my head. No, she doesn't get to run me out of a place. Sophia, on the other hand, she made a beeline toward us. Oh, great. Here we go. She stopped right in front of me, swaying slightly. She was drunk. Figures. Ethan, she said, her voice too loud, too sharp. Wow, you're here. I stayed calm. Yep. She let out a bitter laugh. Didn't think I'd see you again. I shrugged. Didn't plan on it. She glanced at Mia, eyes narrowing slightly. Who's this? Mia, to her credit, stayed completely cool. I don't think that's any of your business. I swear I saw Sophia's eye twitch. You moved on so fast, she said, crossing her arms. Like, did I mean anything to you? I exhaled slowly. Do you really want to do this here, Sophia? She ignored the question. Because it sure seems like you wanted to hurt me. You just walked out like I was nothing. Like I didn't. Her voice cracked. Like I didn't matter to you. I stared at her for a long moment. Then I said, "You didn't." Silence. Complete and utter silence. Her face crumbled. Her hands clenched into fists. "You're such a cold, selfish, manipulative bastard." I just tilted my head. "Oh, you mean like you were when you were sneaking around behind my back?" Her mouth snapped shut. For once, she had nothing to say. She took a shaky step back, her eyes darting around the bar like she was just now realizing how many people were watching. Her friends finally stepped in, grabbing her arms. "Come on, Sophia," one of them muttered, trying to pull her away. Sophia shook her head. No, I need him to know that." But she never finished the sentence. "Because Mia?" She just smiled and said, "Oh, honey, he already knows." And that broke her. Her face twisted, tears welling up in her eyes, but she swallowed them down and turned away, storming off toward the exit. Her friends followed, and just like that, she was gone. For the first time in months, I finally felt closure. Not because I had humiliated her, not because she had been forced to face what she had done, but because in that moment, I realized something. She knew she had lost, and not just the relationship. She had lost me, the guy who would have done anything for her, the guy who had loved her, trusted her, planned a future with her. And there was no coming back from that. A few days later, I got one final text from a number I didn't recognize. "Sophia, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything." I stared at the message for a long time, and then I deleted it, blocked the number, and went back to my life. Sophia will never truly move on. Not because she lost a boyfriend, not because she got caught cheating, but because she will always remember that I didn't break down. I didn't beg. I didn't scream. I just walked away. And in the end, that silence was the loudest thing of all.